Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Five Nights at Freddy's. So, Five Nights at Freddy's is the latest video game adaptation among all the several video game adaptations we had this year, and is an adaptation of a very popular horror franchise, Five Nights at Freddy's. The entire franchise, which pretty much had four games, and it's a film that released in theaters worldwide and on Peacock at the same time, and it's directed by Emma Tammy, and it stars Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lyle, Piper Rubio, Matthew Lilliard, Mary Stuart Masterson, Kat Connor Sterling, etc. And so basically, Five Nights at Freddy's tells the story of this man named Mike Schmidt, a young man who is desperate to finding a job, but he constantly gets rejected every single time. He got fired from his most recent job as a security guard in a mall for beating up this man, mistaken a kid's dad for a kidnapper, and he meets this counselor named Steve Raglan, played by Matthew Lilliard, aka Stu Macher from the original Scream, and he recommends Mike Schmidt to he offers Mike Schmidt a job as a night security guard in the Five Nights at Freddy's pizza restaurant, which used to be a restaurant back in the 80s, but then the kids went missing, and the owner wouldn't let go of the restaurant, so now it's just some abandoned warehouse thing like that. And his one job is to just keep people away from going in, and then he normally sleeps on the job. And every time he sleeps on the job, he normally dreams about these kids who are in his forest, and they're actually ghost kids. He has this vision of his childhood when he saw his brother Garrett be taken away, and then he every time he dreams, he discovers that he's actually finding out the truth that these kids are actually ghosts, and one day he finds out that these ghosts are actually went missing, but turns out they're actually put in the bodies of the animatronics who actually become evil. And by animatronics, I mean Freddy and the gang. And then and so Max Schmidt must stop the animatronics from attacking, and that's basically the plot for it. So yeah, I am a casual Five Nights at Freddy's fan myself. I actually really enjoy games. I wouldn't go as far as saying that I'm too casual about it, up to the point where I have the best knowledge of the lore. But I love Five Nights at Freddy's. Ever since my friends introduced me to the game back in 2017, I was obsessed with playing that game. I kept on playing it, and yeah, it is actually very popular among my country, so I wouldn't be surprised if theaters for this film are going to be back and stuff. So I've actually played all four Five Nights at Freddy's games. I mean, the first one has already become a classic at this point, a modern game classic, and unless if you count Last of Us as a horror game, Five Nights at Freddy's is probably my favorite game of all time. It's probably my favorite survival game of all time as well. I just absolutely love these animatronics and how scary they are, and just this whole concept of a night security guard surviving the attacks of the animatronics is actually very well put together, very well handled. And yeah. Final Fantasy Phase 2 and 3 are not as good as the first game, but they are very good. And Final Fantasy Phase 2 would probably be the weakest game. While it is carrying the first game. It's the weakest because they don't really upgrade they don't upgrade the animatronics design. It feels the exact same as the first game. So it doesn't feel, it barely feels different. Final Fantasy Furious 3 and 4 are completely different. Now, Final Fantasy Furious 3 has this really cool broken design, which makes them even more terrifying. And don't get me started on how terrifying Final Fantasy Furious 4 is. Final Fantasy Furious 4 would be my personal favorite game in the my personal favorite Final Fantasy Furious game. Absolutely love the game, especially with those designs. Those terrifying teeth really adds just so well to the animatronics. I actually hope there will be a movie adaptation that adapts from Final Fantasy Furious 4, and we get to see that design with those teeth. Yeah. I know there's a lot of Americans who say that they know nothing about Final Fantasy Furious, they don't know much, but here in my country, the game is very big. I mean, very very big. Almost everyone I know plays this game, and so when the movie was announced, I was actually pretty excited. I wouldn't say I was hyped for it like other people, because other people consider this as their most anticipated movie of the year, or at least of fall, and some even say it's their most anticipated movie of all time. Even though I wasn't as crazy hyped as those people were, it was actually enough for me to warrant a spot in my top 10 most anticipated movies of fall 2023. If you remember that top 10 list, although that list is outdated, to be honest, this is is kind of outdated, and so the trailers did impress me, I will say, and I was just very interested to see these animatronics adapted on the big screen. I'm sure y'all remember Willy's Wonderland, which is a Final Fantasy Furious knockoff, and boy, it sucked. Nicolas Cage was decent in the film, I guess, and there were some decent kills, but overall, it's just nothing but a Final Fantasy Furious rip off that. And most of that, a lot of that is just focus on these human characters, and no one, like outside Nicolas Cage, that no one cares about. But thank God we got the proper Final Fantasy Freddy's movie. And if you know me so well, you all know that I love to disagree with the critics. I always don't want to offer the popular opinion all the time. Every time a critic gives a movie a low score, I still give it a benefit of a doubt, unless if the marketing looks bad. I'll admit that when the reviews came out, and everyone was hating on it, I got a little worried. I got worried that this is going to be bad, but this was going to disappoint. But at the same time, I still had hope for this, because you know how critics are. I'm sure you all know my relationship with Rotten Tomatoes is not good, and I still have high hope for this, and especially when video game adaptations have always been good for the most part, whether it's movies or TV shows. I haven't seen a bad video game adaptation since Uncharted. Don't get me started on that garbage movie. But you got some amazing films like especially with 2023, like The Last of Us, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Twisted Metal, and movies that may not be a video game adaptation, but they're still movies kind of about the existing IP video game, like Tetris, Gran Turismo, etc. And so I can had hopes of this upon becoming a video game movie fan. And I will say the animatronics design looked impressive, so I was hoping that this is going to be faithful to the games. Unfortunately, though, Five Nights at Freddy's really disappointed me. I'm sorry, but yeah, this movie really disappointed me. I know the Five Nights at Freddy's fanboys are gonna say down in the comments, oh, how could you not like Five Nights at Freddy's movie? You're just trying to agree with the critics, and you're not a true Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Well, just because I don't like the movie doesn't mean I am not a true Five Nights at Freddy's fans. I know some Five Nights at Freddy's fans hated this movie. Like, for example, Austin Putnam. He's a massive Five Nights at Freddy's fan. like on a daily basis, like on several occasions, he's live streams of Final Fantasy Phase 2 all the time, but he absolutely hated this movie. His movie, and I know some people think that some people think that whenever a movie I'm looking forward to ends up being disappointed, ends up disappointing me, and it gets a rotten score, Rotten Tomatoes. Some people would tell me that I just want to agree with the critics, but that's not the case. Some people told me that with Pinocchio 2022, the Robert Zemeckis, when I was actually looking forward to that movie, hoping it will be the best Disney one of the better Disney live action remakes, and it ended up sucking. Some people told me that I only hated it just because it got panned by critics, but yeah, there is some critically panned movies I love, like this year with Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, and also last year with Amsterdam, which got a whooping 20%, 30% of Rotten Tomatoes. And and then this upcoming January Tego movie, Finest Kind, has a 28% at 20% Rotten Tomatoes. But I am, y'all know I'm hyped for that film. If you saw my trailer reaction, so no, I don't. I barely agree with the critics actually. Well, maybe most of the time when critics give it good reviews, most of the time I agree with that, but not just because of Rotten Tomatoes. In fact, I hate it when people judge and have an opinion on a movie based on what the general consensus says. Like if they, like some people are just like, oh, if people like this movie, then I'll like it because Rotten Tomatoes said. But this movie gets a low rating, then I hate it because it's low, because it got a rotten score. That's kind of not good, honestly. Yeah, you have to form your own opinion, not just copy what the critics are saying, not just trying to be on the side of the popular opinion. Don't be afraid to be controversial. And so yeah, I can definitely see why some people would defend this movie. Defend this movie. Yes, maybe they are overhyping this movie because some people said that they only like this movie just because they wanted to, but I mean, I'm not calling them out for it because even me, I also overhype movies where I'll admit that I there are some movies where I say it's good, but only because I wanted to like it. But then later on I realized it's actually not very good. Like, for example, with Strangeville, I really love Strangeville, but only because I wanted to love it. But then later I realized this movie is actually pretty underwhelming. Yeah, I'm just trying to make a point here that I'm not dissing on this movie just because the critics don't like it. Okay, so Final Fantasy fans, that please just leave me alone and let me have my own opinions. Let me have my own opinions. Okay, so anyways, but I will say this though, I don't hate this movie as much as the critics say this. I think 20% is a little too extreme. I think it should get like a 40 to 50%, then I'll be fine. But yeah, but yeah, but okay, where was I? Oh yeah, let's talk about the positives with this movie because I actually do. There were actually some redeeming qualities with the movie. I will say that the movie at least tried to be faithful to the games. The production value and animatronic designs were spot on. Were absolutely spot on. I mean, the whole production value, the design of the restaurant, is exactly how the game was captured. And the animatronic designs were absolutely spot on. They were exactly like the games, and they actually feel animated. Like there's no live action CGI. And in fact, it didn't feel CGI at all. Like you could tell that there is someone behind the mask, and that's how you do it. That I love that the old school style of the animatronics. So that's where the praise goes. I will say that I actually really enjoy the kills. Yes, there were not a lot of kills, and I will certainly get to that later. But I will say that whenever the kills were in this movie, they were actually very good. They're actually very good and very entertaining, especially with that scene when this gang trashed the restaurant just to get Mac in trouble, but then the animatronics killed the gang. That is probably the best scene in the film. Yes, it was shown in the final trailer, but the movie executed it even better. It was very intense, and you know how in that game, that one jump scare where the animatronic just gets you like while running, and then in a creepy way. I don't know how to best describe it, but it's the best I could do. I love how they pull that off in this movie as well. There were some performances that were actually pretty good, like Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lyle, Matthew Lillard, who is probably my personal favorite in the movie, and the actresses who played Abby and Max, Piper Rubio and Kat Connor Sterling. I think they all gave good performances. I'm glad that they got some very popular actors here, like the Josh Hutcherson. I haven't seen him since in a film in Donkey's Years. The last time I saw him in a film was the Hunger Games franchise, which, yeah, I can't wait for the new one. And I will certainly review the Hunger Games franchise leading up to Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. No doubt about it. But it was actually pretty good in this movie. Despite I have the not negative things to say about his character. Oh boy, I'll get to him later. But I do like the characters Vanessa, Abby, Max, and Steve. They're all like great. Vanessa Vanessa is such a great and such a great policewoman who actually knows surprisingly knows this lore and all that stuff. I really enjoy her character. Abby is the true hero of the movie. Abby is the true hero of the movie, especially when she literally she literally drew the yellow rabbit, the main animatronic villain of the movie, destroying the kids, like exposing the yellow rabbit, and then all the animatronics turn against the yellow rabbits. And yeah, that was a great heroic moment, I should say. And Max is a guilty pleasure character. I mean, she's not doesn't have much to do there. She's basically just the babysitter of Abby, and that's basically it. But I actually enjoy her character, mainly because of how hot she is, I guess. But yeah, I want to say she's a great character. But my personal favorite character in the film is Steve Raglan, also known as actually I forgot his real name, but he actually had a real name. So yeah, as you can tell, he's actually the villain of the movie, and honestly, I should have saw this coming. I didn't expect it to be the villain, but I should have, because he's Matthew Lillard. He's literally Stu Macher, and he actually does give me Stu Macher vibes. And every time he acts, and especially in this very creepy and unsettling way, he actually does feel like Stu Macher, just with a beard and an older age like that. And his performance is actually the best performance in the movie, especially in the end when he's a villain. I just love this his over the top nature, and I hope to see more of him in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Which I'm very sure will happen because this movie's gonna make money. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. There's like a lot of hype surrounding this movie. So yeah, anyways, that's all for my positives. Now let's talk about what went wrong with the movie. Why I did not like this movie and why I thought it was a massive letdown. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. The fan service was actually pretty serviceable. I actually kind of like the fan service. Like the YouTuber cameos with Matt Pat and Corey X Kenshin, and also the fact that they played the Fun as a Fairies theme song, the actual theme song, not no reinvented or revised version of it like that. I love how they played it in the end. Yeah, that was a very satisfying. But yeah, now let's talk about the problem with the movie. And let's start off with the main problem. This movie is boring. Yeah, good God, this movie is so boring. What a total snooze fest this was. While I did say that the kills were entertaining and I really enjoyed them, there were barely any kills, like such a lack of kills. And the animatronics have barely had any screen time. Yeah, this movie was not entertaining. This movie is just not entertaining at all. Like, even though the kills were entertaining, yeah, I mean, they literally showed the best parts of the trailer in the best parts of the movie and the trailer and and the trail and the parts that they didn't show, they're just boring. They really bored me so much because of just how because it's just unfocused. It doesn't know what it wants to be, and the movie actually knows that it can't just tell a straight story about a night guard surviving one night. And this movie, and actually, it actually made me realize that I think making a Fantastic Furious movie wasn't a good idea because there's not much story to it. It's basically just a night guard surviving, and then we see the animatronics jump scare. Yeah, it actually made me realize that the more I think about it, I was like, did we really need a Fantastic Furious movie? Yeah, but I will still give Fantastic Furious 2 a chance. See if it can improve. But if it doesn't improve, then I'm not gonna look for it. I'm not gonna be excited for Fantastic Furious 3 and any more in the franchise after 2. But yeah, oh yeah, and not to mention Freddy Fazbear, the main character of the title character of this franchise, and my favorite animatronics, literally was just a background character this whole time. While the other animatronics, a Chica, Cupcake guy, who was the Cupcake was probably, I forget the name of the Cupcake, but he was probably the standout of the movie. Yeah, the standout design, the standout animatronic. The Chica, Cupcake, Bunny, and the Foxy. Yeah, they did all the work, all the killing. Freddy literally kills no one. He just stands there staring at things, and that's it. Wow, wow, what a way! I can't believe what this movie did to Freddy Fazbear, the goat in the games. Like, you can't just have him stare. You can't just have him stare like that. He needs to kill too. He needs to kill too. That's basically the whole point of their character. And the story focuses on Mike dreaming about ghost kids, and trying to uncover the truth about why Gary was missing more than the movie, more than him surviving. And what's with the concept unnecessary at daylight scenes? We don't need those scenes. Just have it be like set in the restaurant. Just have it be set the entire night and have Mike trying to run around escaping the animatronics. Make it a simple animatronic story. No plot twist. So we didn't need a plot twist. Even though I love the Matthew Lillard as the villain, we didn't need him as a villain. It was already fine enough. It was already fine enough with it was already fine enough with just the animatronics being just turning out to be evil and killing the kids, which is why the place shut down. We didn't need it like, oh, the kids are trapped inside the animatronic's body and controlling them. Yeah, just had to be straight up evil. No need for a human antagonist in this. And there was barely any character developments here. Mike is such a dull and uninteresting protagonist. And not to mention, he is very unlikable in this movie. I mean, yeah, especially there's actually this one scene when Mike was buying his medication bill, and then he literally just was acting aggressive towards the store clerk, just grabbing the pills and walking away without even paying aggressively. And my God, I was like, oh my God, why is Mike doing this? And there were a lot of things that don't make sense in this movie. Like, for example, there's this one scene when Mike invited Aunt Jane over, and Aunt Jane is a very abusive aunt, by the way. But she didn't do anything. But take note, she did not do anything wrong to Abby. There was no reason why Abby wouldn't like Aunt Jane. And so Mike calls Abby to come downstairs and eat breakfast. And guess what? Abby sees Aunt Jane, and 1 second after, she's like, "I hate you, Mike." She's like angry, and she literally runs out to her rooms and erases Mike from all her drawings. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what motivated Abby to get angry at Mike just because Aunt Jane is there? That just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, you'll see a lot of those things in the movie. Just a bunch of story storylines that just come out of nowhere and just have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing here. And yes, the whole plot line about Garrett, about the missing brother, it has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Just make it a simple game of animatronics. Animatronics just being revealed to kill the kids because they were evil. And something maybe they're like broken or just anything. No, or anything. And don't focus way too much on just the Garrett going missing because we're not here to see that. Yeah, we're not here. So overall, Five Nights at Freddy's is without a doubt the most disappointing movie of 2023. While it did try at least to stay faithful to the games and has some great performances as well, it's just really did not impress me as a fan because it did not stick with the storyline of the games. And tried to be its own thing instead of trying to have a story that actually resembles the games. The animatronics were barely in this movie. There were barely any kills, any thrills, and nobody and told a story that no one cares about, making this movie incredibly boring and just a sluggish to sit through. I'm not gonna go as far as saying don't watch this movie because it's at least watchable, but then did it frustrate me. This is without question the weakest video game adaptations of 2023, and the games were a million billion times better than this. So with that said, I'm gonna give Five Nights at Freddy's a 2.5 stars out of 5. Underwhelming movie. So that's all for my review of Five Nights at Freddy's. What are your thoughts on this movie? Are you a massive defender of the movie? I can see why the audience score is at 89%. As I'm recording this, yes, it's at 89%, that high. Do you absolutely detest and hate this movie hate this movie like the critics, or do you agree with me that this is a more of a middle of a road mixed bag mid movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my cherry reaction on David Fincher's The Killer, as well as my rant on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and my top 10 most underrated Disney movies list. Yeah, surprised I haven't done another Disney movie rated video after my Disney movies and Lion King reviews videos. So yeah, I'm gonna do them before the end of the month. So yeah, bye guys.